Who's got the rocket launcher? I say we blow it up. Now fire that thing.
It's for the city of sports, playing with a giant Nick. With my man S. God.
That's him.
You feel the vibe?
That's me.
We going live.
That's us.
That like button shared, you been subscribed.
Stadium.
That MetLife, Big Blue, home of the Braves.
Yeah.
That turnpike, you can see that's where the game's played. NFL one day, then it's the NBA. Madison Square Garden, that's where the Knicks play. This that NY Logan, no it don't get broken. Legalize, mean this shit smoking. I'm on topic, dropping another episode. The game winner, trade, maybe a field goal. Everybody right now doing the wave. You tune in the show called The-Man-Cave. I see the chat, they always doing their thing. Big views, 85-inch screen. The game's on, you rush and bleed. Stay calm, you on the road and chill. Do the watch along. The show's on, the host, you know it's S-God. It's no telling the panel filled with guest stars. You now rocking with the voice, you know who it is. It's your boy J Boogie. You now rocking with my man S-God. I support him to the fullest, you heard? My man Mike Blaze. This is Alter Production. What that mean, we about to alter everything that's playing. Tune in. My man S.God. Support the show. Subscribe, share it. Most importantly, hit that like button.
What's good? What's good? Salute to the orange and blue skies. You already know what time it is. You know the vibes, man. Salute Knicks Nation. Knicks basketball, man. Talking Knicks tonight, man. Like I said, I know I haven't been on here in a while to talk Knicks and stuff like that, man. But we're going to get to some Knicks basketball tonight, man. But we also talk about some draft talk as well. New York Jets, New York Giants and stuff like that, man. I want to thank everybody for tapping this live stream of Knicks Talk Massacre in Atlanta and stuff like that. We going to get to it and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But, man, if this is your first time to my podcast, the Man-Cave podcast, as well as the Aboriginal Sports Network, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, man, and also share it on all social media platforms, man. It costs you nothing. It is totally free. And if you're following on Twitter, formerly X, formerly Twitter, all you got to do is hit the follow button for the Aboriginal Sports Network, as well as the Man-Cave podcast, man. So, man, without any further ado, man, we're going to just talk a little bit of football, man. But before I get started, man, I'm going to bring my boy D on, man, here so that we can chop it up and talk a little bit, man. I know I haven't been on here in a minute because I've been doing a lot of live Knicks stream and stuff like that. But, hey, because of what the Knicks did last night, I got a little time, you know what I'm saying, to talk some little basketball today, man. It's a Friday night. You're just going to sit and chill, man. It's going to be like at the barbershop and stuff like that. Just come on through, everybody, man. Come through, man. Say what you got to, do what you got to do and stuff like that. It's all good, man. Share your opinions, your thoughts and things like that, man. But like I said, yeah, we got enough time to talk about that Knicks that beatdown and down here in the ATL and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I just finished dusting off some lemon pepper wings and stuff like that. In celebration, so it was good and stuff like that, man. But hey, it was even better. It was sweeter last night, man. But D, man, how you feeling? First of all, we're gonna start probably talking about the Jets and the Giants draft because, like I said, I know is NBA playoffs, but also important for both teams, the Jets and the Giants. You know what I'm saying? The Jets are in rebuild mode. You know what I'm saying? They have totally revamped their team and stuff like that. So Aaron Glenn, the second-year head coach, man, you know what I'm saying? This is his fingerprint now. He's finally getting some of the guys that he wants in there and stuff like that. And also for the Giants, our favorite team, the Giants, you know what I'm saying? It's a new era in Giants football with John Harbaugh and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? We got some players in here now. We got some blue chip prospects in here. And we had some before, but hey, we just going to have the guys in here who really want to be here. You know what I'm saying? That's who we want to be. So, hey, it is what it is, man. So D, how you feeling, man?
Feeling great. You know what I mean? Like I said, as far as anything with the Jets, I give Aaron Glenn the utmost credit to taking on that rebuild, because I think with them, I mean, just looking at what Pittsburgh is going through with Aaron Rodgers getting out of that buffoonery with that, I mean, that was a big step for him in taking and part of that rebuild process. I think everything they're doing is bringing them in the right direction to rebuilding that squad. But I give him the utmost credit, because to take on a job like that where losing is part of you getting your foothold into that process. You know what I mean? And nobody wants to go in knowing they're going to lose, but he's taking on a big undertaking by jumping into that and knowing that's going to be the case.
All right, shout out to the chat. Beulah Television, what's good? Salute, bro. Thanks for tapping in, man. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, man. I don't know if you're here for Knicks talk. We're gonna get that Knicks talk, man. But like I said, first we're gonna dive into the Jets, man. We're gonna look at some of the Jets draft picks and stuff like that, and do the copyright things. I really can't play the volume and stuff like that, so I could just show you the highlights of the players that they drafted, so that way you know type of players that the Jets have drafted. Jets had a great draft, man. From the things that I've seen and stuff like that, they really did a great job. Like I said, filling some of the needs. Yes, they got a lot of needs, but they fill a lot of them. You know, Aaron Glenn, this is his fingerprint on it and stuff like that. So you look at these guys, look at the players that they got: David Bailey, Omar Cooper, Kenyon Sadiq, who else? Darrell Jackson, D'Angelo Pons and stuff like that. You'll see these guys. Like I said, these guys are going to be some household names for the Jets and stuff going forward and stuff like that for Aaron Glenn's second draft and stuff like that. And also, the Jets made a lot of trades and got rid of some guys, so they are stacked with ammunitions and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to be ready. Shout out to the coach. Was good. He said he calls any team they face to come at the highest level, they could get embarrassed. And New York now has to play like this all the time. Of course, they got to play like that. We already know. I told him, hey, Knicks, the one thing with the Knicks is the consistency. Can they put forth the effort for 48 minutes? If they could do it for 48 minutes, we're gonna be good. But that's the problem. They don't do it for 48 minutes, man. That's the only holdback with the Knicks, man. They'll do it in spurts. We need them to do it for the whole game, man. If they could do it for the whole game, have that energy level and stuff like that, it will be good. But I'm gonna get on to the Jets and show a little Jets highlights and stuff like that from their draft class and stuff like that to for people who's not familiar with some of the Jets draft picks and stuff like that. So we will delve into it.
New York Jets.
So we will show some of the Jets highlight and stuff like that. Like I said, they got a great draft class, and yeah, I'm gonna share with you and stuff like that. You can see that's David, that's Bailey, their first, the second pick in the draft. You see some of the highlights with Bailey. And you could just see, like I said, you can see the dude got some man. He got some wheels, and this is their tight end, Kenyon Sadiq and stuff like that. The big tight end. This dude like a Mack truck, man. He's, you know what I'm saying? This dude is like, he's gonna be a matchup nightmare problem for people, man. Like I said, a big, tall, physical tight end.
What's his size on that?
I believe he's about 6'5" or something. Let me see his Kenyon Sadiq. Yeah, he's Kenyon Sadiq. 6'3", 245.
Okay. Well, listen, for his size, he is athletic, so he is going to be a matchup issue. He looks faster than like the Aaron Hernandez type.
Mm-hmm. And this is their the wide receiver they picked first, Omar Cooper out of Indiana, the national champion Indiana Hoosiers have Mendoza, the quarterback, Omar Cooper, Surratt, the wide receiver, and D'Angelo Pons, the cornerback. And they got two players from Indiana. They got Omar Cooper right here, the wide receiver right here, and they also got the cornerback D'Angelo Pons. Pons is on the small side, like about 5'9" or something like that, but he's a little bulldog and stuff like that. So it was great. So this is Pons right now on the defensive side. Take it to the house.
Yeah, but Pons looked just as tall as that wide receiver, though.
Yeah. Cooper. I think Cooper's like 5'10", 5'9". Yeah, he's not a what you call it. So yeah, but these guys, like I said, they got some speed with them. That's the thing. They got some speed with them, and like I said. And, like I said, I know people look at 40 time, but you look at 40 time, but people look at football speed, like game speed. Game speed is like what you do in the game, that could be misleading. Like you could be as fast as you want, but when you got them pads on and stuff like that, it's like, that game speed is a little bit different.
Oh, for sure.
Tom,
Well, to me, the biggest aspect to me in the corner is can he tackle, and
right.
that would be the biggest aspect because of his size.
And this is their defensive tackle, Daryl Jackson from out of Florida State, FSU. Big dude. And now this is their the quarterback that they picked, K. Klubnik. This was a dude that was supposed to go like what, the first round or second round last year or something like that. But see what happened. These guys stayed in school and some of them got exposed. So Klubnik, I believe, got picked in like the fourth round or something, fourth or the fifth round.
Well, you and I know once you stay another year in school, your stock automatically drops down because then they look at it their age versus getting somebody younger with and they try to match up the talent with that dude's talent.
And then this is the other though, Fletcher Jr. I forgot they got the running back, Fletcher Jr. He was a nightmare for Miami, for the Hurricanes, man, for opposing defense. Quick, small dude, almost like how James Cook on the Bills.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this dude, like I said, playmaker, man. He's a playmaker.
No, they look, they got some pieces. It's just the fact of those pieces working out in the situations that they're now put into on the field for a whole nother team.
And that's the corner right there that they picked up and stuff like that, man. So yeah, man. So like I said, the Jets, hey man, Jets draft, like I said, I think the Jets, the Browns, and the Giants probably had probably the top 3 drafts this year in the NFL draft, man. They did really well. Both New York teams did really well, man. For the founder picks that the Giants had, man, the Giants, they top 4 pick, like I said, those top 4 guys should start. All 4 of them should start. You know what I'm saying? So you talking about Arvell Reese, you talking about Francis Mauigoa, you talking about Colton Hood, the cornerback, and also Malachi Fields, the wide receiver and stuff like that, the 6'4" wide receiver and stuff like that. But as far as the Jets, like I said, man, the Jets, like I said, this season, I believe they got Geno Smith is the quarterback this year. So, you know what I'm saying? Because the Jets didn't go with a quarterback in the draft because I guess they're waiting on next year's draft to get a quarterback, which is supposed to be the quarterback draft, right? That's supposed to be like that's like the best draft coming out in a while. They always say that before the draft, and then what happened? The Neal deal keeps some guys in school, and that's been part of the problem. Now the Neal deal has kept guys in school longer than they anticipated, and hey, some of them making more money than they would have made coming into the draft. So they're like, hey, I'm going to cash in over here, you know what I'm saying, and get that Neal deal and stuff like that. Because I'm telling you, if Carson Beck could have stayed another year, in like 7 to 8 years, he'll stay in school. And Carson Beck was ringing in that thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but and in all that, like you just said, if they have that thought process, that also is going to hurt their draft stock because the older they get coming into the league, their stock is going to drop off of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if they know they're not going to be promising in the league or get that first round pick, or that you be in that class of that, I guess they're making money decisions, not next league decisions. That's what I could say.
Mm-hmm. All right.
It pays out.
All right. So next we are going to go to our football giants, New York football giants, to look at the Giants, some of their draft picks and highlights for the Giants. Like I said, all excited about the Giants draft and stuff like that. I'm excited. I know Dexter Lawrence was a guy that we did not want to trade. He's a big piece of our defense. But if he didn't want to be here, then hey, they had to do what they had to do, like I said, man, because hey, they tried to keep him, try to do the money thing, with the contract and stuff like that. But I think it went further than that. So he just didn't want to be here and stuff like that. So it is what it is, man. I'm happy for him. He over there in Cincinnati and stuff like that. And we got, like I said, we got a great haul from him. We got the 10th pick in the draft. I was excited about the 10th pick. I thought it was going to be something like a lower first round pick or probably a second round pick we was going to get. But to get a top 10 lottery pick, man, you can't beat that, man. And with that, hey, the Giants
not at all
went physical. Giants went with some heavy-handed guys, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, we getting back to that physicality of style of football with the New York football Giants, man. So with the Giants, like I said, Arvell Reese, Francis Mauigoa, Colton Hood, Malachi Fields. We didn't have a 4th and a 5th round pick because we traded up to get Malachi Fields. So we took Bobby Jameson, Travis, as well as what's his name? JC. I forgot the offensive tackle name, but I know we take that linebacker out of BYU, that little feisty linebacker. What's his name? Jack Kelly from BYU. So we will do the Giants and see what the Giants. Look at some of the highlights of the Giants draft. Let me get it up here. Let me just do this.
New York Giants.
Yeah, we're going to do the Giants. All right. The Giants, that's right there. It's Arvell Reese, the linebacker, edge rusher, Arvell Reese. That dude got some speed with him, got some wheels and stuff like that, man. So you already know how it is. He likes to come up on the run and stop the run, tackle. And that's him stopping the dude up there and up in the air. This dude, like I said, he goes for it, man. His closing speed is incredible, man. His burst. You see that physicality? That's what you want.
And what was Carter's speed last year? 4.45 or something like that?
Yeah, and who was that? See, this is Francis Mawanoa. That's the second, the number 10 pick, Francis Mawanoa, the offensive lineman, right here, Mawanoa.
We needed him for sure.
We needed that Samoan dude. We needed that guy.
Listen, we needed him just as much as we need him to pan out as well. So
yeah, man. Look at that CC. Look at that. Look at that pass protection. But main thing is open up that hole. See, look at that thing. Hold that point of attack. That point, and then near the goal line. Boom. Come on in. Walk on through. And now here, that's Colton Hood about to pick it up, the cornerback from Tennessee. He's a little physical corner, 5'11", 193, 200 pounds and stuff like that. But he plays with some physicality and stuff. Loves to stop the run too. And he was a first round pick that we got in the second round. He slipped out the first round, and the Giants pounced on that dude.
Well, hopefully he makes up for not taking what's the name at that 10th pick.
No.
At a fifth, fifth
right.
pick.
He's my Caleb Downs.
Yeah.
Yeah, Downs is a safety though. And this dude gonna be a corner, so he's gonna take Deontay Banks' spot, bro. Banks and play opposite Paulson to Debo, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's what I say. Look at that. He ain't scared to tackle, man. That's what I'm saying. We got to get guys that want to tackle and stop the run right there. He ain't waiting for somebody to catch the ball and come to him.
Well, listen.
I'm waiting for that.
Look. You say all of that, but we just hope that he doesn't adopt all those bad habits from the previous situation.
Well, you got a different staff now. You got a different staff.
True. That is very true. Yes.
Malachi Fields, the 6'4" receiver and stuff like that. Yeah, he said the old JC Davis out of Illinois. Yeah, that's that 6th round pick. That's a left tackle that dude can play. He said Carter ran a 4.48 last year. Yeah, Abdul Carter's he's a freak. All right, that's the Malachi Fields right there, the 6'4" wide receiver that the Giants got. Like I said, another physical player and stuff like that. And he's good against blocking too. And run game needs of receivers that block. So that's a great thing. Against some, like I said, against some physical players and stuff like that.
Well, I'm looking more for the hands because, like you said, at his size, if he doesn't have that great burst, but he could get up and catch those balls over those shorter dudes, that's what I'm looking for as well.
Yeah, he's the 50-50 guy. He gets up there and get that stuff, man. You see his athleticism and his, like I said, his the way he checks the ball. And this is the 6th round pick that we got, Bobby Jameson, Travis. That dude's, like I said, from Auburn. Another 97. And we got him down in the 6th round. Like I said, these guys, like I said, they're gonna be developmental and like this, but these guys gonna play, man. They're gonna play.
Well, listen, that's a started process. If he pans out, that's our new Dexter Lawrence right there.
Right. That's what I'm saying with these guys. And there he goes again. It's like, yo, he get off them blocks. He getting off them blocks. Getting off them blocks. That's the main thing. Remember, we had guys who were just staying on blocks. Get off the block. Get off the block and go get your man. You know.
Well, again, it's like looking at anything. Anybody being aggressive
And
to you know what I mean? That's what you want. You want somebody that's fully aggressive, not somebody that's just going through the motions.
74. That's the offensive lineman, J.C. Davis, right there from Illinois. 74. There you go. Let's see that. Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
This is his when he played, I believe, at Washington State. All right, here goes J.C. Davis again, circled. Get him out there. Get the dude out to play. Get him out to play. Out to play. And then this is the last pick, then Jack Kelly. This is the guy, like I said, this is the Cam Scatterbo of the linebackers. This dude, little feisty dude right here from BYU. He made a lot of plays for BYU. Like I said, got some speed, and like I said, he's a gamer. That's what you want, guys who are gamers and stuff like that. He's going to help out at linebacker and also special teams and stuff like that. So, John Harbaugh is big on them special teams, man, and them guys and stuff like that. So that's what you want, man.
Oh, especially for our special teams that also lacked a lot of hitters, heavy hitters.
Physicality. They ran away from physicality and stuff like that. These guys look like they run into that stuff. They run for that stuff.
Man, please. For them to get somebody down, they had to gang tackle.
Right. Yeah. Jack Kelly, like I said, Jack Kelly. Yeah, man. Like I said, it's like, yo, it's kind of crazy when you look at a draft. Even like you might think like three of them might make the team of 4, but these guys look like all these guys gonna make the team because, like I said, they're gonna take some other guys' spot who really don't want to, the guys who don't really want to give effort. It ain't gonna take long. It ain't gonna take long to weed those guys out. You know what I'm saying?
Well, like you said, with the new regime, only thing we could do is help is put our trust in that process of navigating through the talent that's there, and hopefully, if those from the highlights, if the people that we have in camp is any better than the highlights that we see here, then they deserve to be there. Then.
Yeah, and then like I said, with a new regime comes new right? New system, new stuff like that, new way of practicing, and I know in the past, what's his name made the comment, Zay Flowers, the Ravens wide receiver, saying John Harbaugh runs a real physical training camp and stuff like that. Them guys is in pads a lot and all stuff. He's like, man, that's probably what could contribute to some injuries and stuff. It's like, nah, man, because that's the total opposite from us. We were so relaxed in our training camps and all stuff. That was part of the problem. Couldn't tackle people, wasn't tackling people, you know what I'm saying? Whereas, hey, John Harbaugh is ready to play. He's ready to play. These guys got to be ready. Game 1, preseason game, all that stuff. You can say guys are going to be tackling. That's the main thing. You looked at this draft, it was a lot of things. Focuses on stopping the run, tackling and stopping the run. Guys who can tackle and stop the run. Like you said, you look on there, you saw Arvell Reese look like stopping the run. What's his name? Colton Hood stopping the run. You know what I'm saying? Jack Kelly. You know what I'm saying? These guys are coming to play. You know what I'm saying? Then you look at, like I said, with us, Malachi Fields, a wide receiver. That's what we know. We desperately need a wide receiver with Malik Neighbors. Trying to nurse him back to health and stuff like that. And then Slayton, I don't know if you read it, Slayton just had a core muscle surgery and stuff like that. So he going to be out for him until, So that was another thing. So like I said, these guys be knowing things behind the scenes that we don't, you know what I'm saying, be knowing and stuff like that. And then you see why certain guys are picked in the draft, you be like, oh, okay, it makes a little more sense. You know what I'm saying? Just like if like Cam Scatterbo, you know what I'm saying, like he's recovering and stuff like that. And, a lot of people say if what's name would have going to be there, Jeremiah Love is going to be there, Johnson's probably going to pick him at 5. I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. But if they did pick him, then you understand it's like, hey, maybe guys are not ready to come back. You know what I'm saying? Like Scatterbo, these guys not ready to come back and from injuries. And with Malik Neighbors also nursing, I was like, hey, we have to have a focal point of the offense. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think that I know Isaiah likely was signed. That's a good start for us with the tight end and stuff like that for as far as our offensive and stuff like that. Like I said, Scatterbo and Malik Neighbors, hopefully, like I said, they'll be on on time as far as like the injury and stuff like that. But I think Neighbors will probably be, if I had to guess, I don't think he'll probably be ready for the first couple of weeks or something like that. But you know what I'm saying? But he'll be on point. So that's why I had to get the receivers. And, he's talking about OBJ and stuff like that. And, hey, maybe we sign OBJ now with Darius Slayton with that hand, that core muscle surgery. Because before then, if he didn't have that surgery, then he'd be like, oh, there's probably no need to sign him. But that's why they was probably entertaining it. You know what I'm saying? Because people be like, oh, why y'all entertaining? Why y'all talking to this guy and all stuff? It's like, yo, because hey, some guys are injured behind the scenes, some guys need surgery. We don't know that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
I'm gonna be honest with you. When the Giants started talking that love stuff, I was thinking more or less that Harbaugh was not interested or was going in the direction of Scatterbo, because Scatterbo is just a north-south type runner. You know what I mean? You go with Love, you're looking for that bounce to the outside type. You know what I mean? That catch out the backfield kind of guy. But listen, I'm glad everything worked out the way it did.
Yeah, man.
Because Scatterbo has potential, so he's going to get you some yards. And then we picked up that big fullback, so he's definitely going to open up some holes for Scatterbo to get extra yards.
Yeah, man. Like I said, man. So, hey, like I said, all in all, like I said, man, the Giants, like I said, I love the draft that the Giants had. I give them a grade. I give them an A plus, A, whatever you want to give them and stuff like that. But like I said, we have 4 in the top. What's that? In the top 3, three rounds, because we didn't have a 4th or a 5th round. So for that to have like 4 possible starters that you're going to get, that's all you can hope for, man. 4 or 5 starters out the draft. But like I said, a lot of these guys look like they're going to play too and stuff like that. Because sometimes, hey, I mean, if they developing them or they picking these guys, they see something in them and stuff like that, they can work with them and stuff like that. And these guys catch on fast and stuff like that, they're going to play. Because at the end of the day, what I always say, if you don't produce, you ain't going to play, because guess what? These guys have had a lot of opportunities. All the guys on the team have had opportunities with the last 3-4 years. You know what I'm saying? So I can't be like, oh, man, he didn't get a chance. He really didn't get a shot. You know what I'm saying? Nah, these dudes got a shot. You know what I'm saying? If they ain't giving forth the effort, put somebody else in there who's going to do the work. That's all I got to say. Put them in there who's going to do the work, man. So, hey, and if guys go get cut or released or something like that, hey, no hard feelings, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, you had a perfect opportunity to take advantage of what was going on, because for a team that's been bad, you're going to have opportunities. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like you come into a championship team and there's no minutes for you. You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
Minutes, you get out there on the field, you better produce, like I said. And like I said, I don't know why some of these guys, when they be out there on the field, they be acting as if like, oh, I'm not getting on PT, so I'm not going to really give full effort. But at the end of the day, you're not just playing for that team. You're playing for other 30-some teams. They looking at you because they might want to trade for you. You know what I'm saying? Or if you get released, they might pick you up or something like that. So you can't always just be like, oh, because I'm not playing for this team, I'm not going to give my full effort. You got to give a full effort, because people see that. And they go for, you know what I'm saying? And then from there, they pick you up or whatever. When it comes to contract time, hey, you might get a big payday. You know what I'm saying? And then the team that you was on. So you got to keep on playing. Like I said, at the end of the day, you auditioning. Every time you're out there in the field, you're auditioning for a different team. Even the team you're playing against, you might feel like y'all might whip the pants off that team, and you give a big effort. And they remember that stuff, you know what I'm saying? So in free agency or something like yo, we're going to get this guy, you know what I'm saying? Because you look at that. You look at some feisty guys with energy. That's what teams want. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good, man.
No, well, listen, with football, you do get multitudes of opportunities, because you can make a practice squad. You get opportunities to prove yourself and do whatever it needs to take to make a squad. So I mean, if they don't make the full roster, they still can make the practice squad or whatever the case may be, to still try to pursue their dreams. Listen, it's a battle of a competition. You know what I mean? So, we, like I said, I'm just hoping, like you just said, you stated, like Harbaugh is taking it back to the Parcell era. You know what I mean? Different type, situations where we're bringing a hard-nosed coach to get these players back to hard-nosed football.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you can hope for.
Yeah, man. Hey, like I said, and what we say? Hey, if they didn't want to produce out there on the court and stuff like that, that's not that's not what I'm saying. Everybody's given an ample opportunity to do what they have to do. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? They're given ample opportunity, like I said. So I don't feel sorry for nobody. You know what I'm saying? It's like at the end of the day, bro, you in the league. What I always say, you make it this far, you at the highest peak in sports. And if you can't do it, what else is like, hey, what else is like nobody could I can't play for you. I can't do this for you. I can't, push you. I can't make you do this. Like you're at the highest level right now. It's like, hey, you don't made it to the top. Why now? Why you quitting now? You know what I'm saying? Why you quitting now? You know what I'm saying?
Listen, we ain't walking around with tissues for crybabies. Is either you bring 110 or you don't bring it at all.
Mm-hmm. All
You
right.
know what I mean?
Well, we're about to get into the meat. What we're here for, man. Knicks beat down in Atlanta, man. This was, like I said, seeing this stuff firsthand was crazy in itself. And I'm gonna show you some game highlights and stuff like that, man. It wasn't too much highlights on the Atlanta Hawks part, but it was a lot of highlight on the Knicks part. And like I said, man, the score reflected it and stuff like that, man. So we will see.
New York Knicks.
Yeah, looking at some highlights from the game from yesterday in Atlanta. I was there. Like I said, I was there in full force. Me and my boy was there, front row seat to all of this, man. I mean, this is, like I said, textbook. Like I said, man, you look at it, textbook. Knicks got up to a 5-0 lead, but then the Hawks came right back and scored 9 points, made it 9-5, and then after that, the wheels just fell off. Look at some of these highlights, Okongwu and Nikhil Alexander-Walker. And like I said, in this game, the Knicks played a lot of great defense in this game, man. It was a lot of great defense in this game. I had to admit, like I said, Knicks played a lot of great defense in this game, a lot of steals and deflections. All right, there's Towns at the high post. Like I said, at the three-point line, which you always say he need to catch the ball at the box, in the box. And OG was on fire in that game, man. OG was knocking down threes in people's face, bro. And Bridges, somebody said they stood up on their couch and Bridges took it down and got fouled because
Wow, yeah. But listen, that was the other positive I took at it, that he was actually taking the ball strong to the basket as well.
Yeah, you're starting to see the score, man. It's like, hey, the score look close from now. And look at Towns off the backboard, right? Towns off the back.
Yeah, listen, that actually got me up out of my seat off of that.
Look at Towns. Oh man, and it's the defense against by Knicks and Josh Hart out on this, like, lay it up and in, man. And like I said, from there, that's when I said that it just like the Hawks is on 11 or 15 forever in the day, man. And like I said, Knicks just like went to work. And like I said, we was in this thing. Like I said, in the first quarter, Hawks fans was talking cash stuff the first 4 minutes of game, but bro, after that, it was quiet the rest of the way, man. I was like, the Knicks silenced the whole arena, bro.
It said "mum's the word" at that point, huh? There was no chance in hell they was talking about game 7 at all, huh?
What's that? King Rottweiler said, I'll be straight up. This popped up on my feed, so I'll give you the viewer while I go pick up my Chinese food. There you go, bro. It's all good. You get your Chinese food. It's like, hey, it's all fun right now in this game. Like I said, so many highlights on this game on the Knicks side, man. None so much for the Hawks, man. It's just like, Mitchell Robinson.
It's a weird feeling because we call them the cardiac Knicks for the rapid up and downness, but it's funny that they was giving people cardiacs just to see them running back and forth, running up the score on the team. I think everybody was in a state of shock off of that.
Bro, everybody was, man. You should say, we was going. It was like it was crazy in there, man. It's like, the Hawks section, the one that be like doing all the talking and all that stuff. You know, they was saying Hawks in 7. They was like Hawks. They think because when the Hawks is up 9-5, they say this is going 7. Hawks. They're gonna be like Hawks in 7. Hawks in 7. Yo, by the middle of the first quarter, yo, them dudes was quiet from there on. From the rest of the day, they ain't say nothing. They had nothing to say, man. You know, so.
So you gotta think after the first quarter, where you're talking about this, what was it, 48-16 or something like that? Like,
yeah,
you gotta think OG had more points in the first quarter than they had of a score.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, some of that stuff you gotta look at and be like, yo, what is going on right now tonight? Or even if that first half, I want to say he almost had as his score, as his points, he had more than his score. You know, in that first half, it was nuts. It was nuts.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I told you when I was like, yo, dude, they gotta keep running. They gotta put their foot clearly on their throats.
Yeah.
Smash mouth. Yeah, I mean, listen, like you said, first half of the game was over. I even looked at a statistics that states even if the Knicks didn't score no more points after the first half, there was no possible way they could have lost that game.
Right. And that was like I said,
no possible way.
And that was just like I said, just a little highlight. Like I said, it wasn't like too much too much highlights on the on the Atlanta Hawks part. You know what I'm saying? It's like not too much highlights, man. Even after the game. Like I said, listen to CJ McCollum and all the guys, man. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, he said at no point, man, he said, we ain't never played like this. We ain't never played like this, you know what I'm saying, all season long. This is like, and he said, we're going to learn from this. You know, he said, this is my first time being on this side of a thrashing, beating or something like that. So we're going to learn from it and stuff like that. And then CJ McCollum was just like, you know, he's like, yeah. He said, yeah, we just, you know, he said this was our first adversity. Like I said, I mean, he said it's surprising to all of us, even to the fans, to everybody who was watching. It's like, yo, it was like a buzzsaw. Like once it started happening, it's like a snowball effect, and it's just like it just started going downhill from there and stuff like that, man. And like I said, just, you know, watching the news and watching some of these players and stuff, you know, Dyson Daniels, you know, he always talking his little crap with it, you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, you like a little fake thug, you know what I'm saying? He you know what I'm saying? Like, what's saying? He's like a little fugazi and stuff like that.
Please, that dude was in his feelings after the whole fisticuffs with him and Mitchell. But the fact is, he couldn't stop the onslaught. It's just what it was, you know what I mean? And then I caught a flashback moment, just, you know, watching it back, was even in that fisticuffs, I saw Mike Brown take a nosedive. He kind of reminded me of Jeff Van Gundy in the Miami fisticuffs.
And the little scrum,
the scuffle in there. Yeah, he was down. I'm pretty sure he got a couple of 15s, 14s planted on himself, you know, while he was down on the floor.
Hey, man, like I said, and that stuff, like I said, to me, that wasn't even nothing big. Like I said, they were just pushing each other and stuff like that. You know, it ain't like they was throwing punches or stuff like that. They was throwing punches now. That's different, you know what I'm saying? But it was like these guys just pushing and shoving and stuff like that. But they both ejected and stuff like that. Like I said, hey, if they're going to eject them for stuff like that, then what you know what I'm saying, is like what they're going to do next time if somebody else is like, they really throw some punches and really go to blows, like how the Malice and the Palace, what's going to happen?
Forget about it, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that one went up in the stands. That one left the court and went up in the stands. It was almost the same thing like when the Knicks played. What's that? The Knicks and the Nuggets? When they was in the was that in the little stand? Was that Oakley? That was in Oakley with Carmelo Anthony and them. Remember the Nuggets came to the Garden, and it was like,
was that? I don't think that was Oakley. I thought that was more LJ and them. I thought.
I don't even think it was LJ, but if it was Carmelo with the Nuggets, it wasn't those guys. Then it was somebody else, but it was something. But I know it was the Knicks and the Nuggets. I remember that was in New York. It was at the Garden, and it was like right there by the basket or something like that. And
yeah. They did have a little. That was years ago too. Yeah.
No, but I'm saying that I think that was Carmelo. I think that was Carmelo.
That was Melo. Melo was on that upper end of that. Yeah.
Yeah, Melo, J.R. Smith. If I remember right, it's like, and I forgot who were on the Knicks at the time, man. But I was just like, yo, that's what I'm saying, guys. Like I said, they used to go to the crowd, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, either swinging or something like that. 'Cause I think in that one they were swinging too, and that one when they went to the in the crowd and stuff like that. You know, with the Nuggets and stuff like that, man. But other than that, man, like I said, that was the most fight that the Hawks put up in that game last night, though. You know, with Dyson Daniels and
Well,
stuff like
based
that.
on that fight, yeah.
Because I think they was down 50 at the time or something like that, or something like that. It's like, I don't know if you took exception to it, but it's like, hey man, if you guys, hey, to be down 50, that means you ain't doing something. Y'all ain't doing something. And it was almost like it was a snowball effect. Like I said, the turnovers was creeping up the Hawks. Then the shooting wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? They did not have the home crowd because, you know, it was a Knicks fan. I mean, it was a Knicks crowd. You know what I'm saying? The Knicks fans was booing the Hawks at everything, the turnovers, the free throw line, to get on the free throw line, they were being booed and stuff like that. And the Knicks fans were just like over talking everybody, man. And when the Knicks got to the line, when they got to the line, they was chanting MVP for Jalen Brunson, calling Anthony Towns and OG. They were just chanting and shouting and, you know, and stuff like that. And like I said, the Hawks just felt, like I said, they just felt like they was the road team. But like I told you before, this was a 7-game homestand for the Knicks, man, you know. So, but like I said, the Knicks were the favorites to win this series anyway. You know, it wasn't like something like, you know, now if the Hawks would have upset, that would have been a major upset and stuff like that. But the Knicks was supposed to win this series. But the next series that's the one they're going to be really, you know, looked at when they play either Boston or Philadelphia, because I thought it was going to be Boston. But the way the Sixers are playing right now, it might be Philly and stuff like that, you know. So, hey, they're going to surprise me, man. But Boston, like I said, Boston had control of that series 3-1, man. They had stranglehold that series, and now it's anybody's series now between Boston and Philadelphia, and it could go any way. And, hey, pressure bust pipe, so we'll see what happened in Boston tomorrow and stuff like that. So the Knicks will know who they're going to be their next opponent tomorrow night, because that's the Game 7 tomorrow night. 76ers and the Celtics. Tonight's game, Orlando is playing right now against Detroit. And then you got Cleveland and Toronto playing tonight also. And then the Lakers and the Rockets. You know, the Lakers is up 3-0 in that series and stuff like that. And this is what happened, man. You saw, like I said, you play with your food, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to take it.
Well, let me ask you, who would you rather see in the next round?
Between who? I mean, for the Knicks?
Yeah.
Oh, for the Knicks, like I said, Boston and Philadelphia. I really don't have a preference, like I said, because Boston, like I said, they're a jump shooting team, so there is no physicality with Boston and stuff like that. It's just
well, to me, break down the fact that what would be in comparison. Well, if you had to compare the Knicks playing against either one of them, what would be our factors to actually getting through the game or winning the game?
Well, I mean, with Boston, like I said, we got the size on Boston with Towns and Robinson in there. I know they got Kuita, whatever his name is, and stuff like he ain't too much like that. You know, Vucevic, you know what I'm saying? They got him like towards like, you know, the trade deadline and stuff like that. But yeah, see what Boston did. Like I said, even though they got that, and like they more of a finesse team and stuff like that. The shooting, the thing with Boston is the shooting. If they hitting, yeah, you're gonna have a problem with them. But if they're not hitting that shot, you know, live and die by the jump shot, then yeah, and it's going to be a good series for the Knicks. And like I said, with Philadelphia, the thing with Philadelphia is they like an unorthodox team because, like I said, they got size, you know, just like the Knicks got size and stuff like that, but they play a half court, you know what I'm saying? So I'm good with them playing a half court game more than an up tempo. So the Knicks will do good with the half court because that's what they want to play, you know.
Yeah, but you don't think Philly has more of an upper hand when we play them than Boston on us?
Yeah, like, you know, people would say that Philly would have an upper hand, but you know, we played Philadelphia like you know, was that a year ago too? I mean, we got them and stuff like that, but you know, it probably was a little different team, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But the same thing, like I said, it's just with us, it's just up to us, man. If OG and Mikal played the way they're supposed to play consistent, then I don't care about neither one of those teams. Our problem has been those two, you know what I'm saying? One is playing good and the other one's not playing good. But if those guys are both playing, like, I mean, like the Atlanta one is like an anomaly, like how they played last night. But if they play good like that, then I'm not worried about none of them other teams, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, Brunson and Cat, they're going to do their thing. Mitchell Robinson going to do their thing. And you got OG and Mikal. And you remember, OG and Mikal really wasn't rebounding. You know, OG wasn't rebounding. Now OG's rebounding now. So that makes a little bit of difference too and stuff like that.
Right.
And he's hitting
some but you don't think that would be a matchup problem for Brunson somewhere in there?
For who? Against who?
Against Philly.
Philly, who they gonna put on them?
Exactly. That's exactly who would be who?
I mean that they'll probably try to put Oubre on them, but then what happens when you got, you know, say OG on the other end and stuff like that? Because Oubre
would put who on who?
I said, who are they gonna play on OG on the other end? Is I'm like,
Yeah,
Paul,
but who would Brunson be able to guard on Philly? That's what I'm saying.
I mean, probably you won't be able to guard nobody on the Sixers, but I mean, it's the way they playing defense now. They moving around, and so I don't like those doubles teaming, so I need to stop doing that stuff, But like I said, with the most part, like I said, it's just Maxey. Maxey's like edge come now, what I'm saying? He got some size and stuff like that. If he decides that he want to go in a post and stuff like that.
Correct. Keep. That's what I said. Keep it going. So that's why I'm asking you this question, because when we go from our 1 to 5, everybody can match up with somebody pretty decent.
Mhm.
He's the only oddball when you go to match him up with somebody on a squad.
Yeah, but the thing about it, but see, they squad is not all like what you call an aggressive squad though. That's the difference. And these guys got not. It's not like.
What do you mean not aggressive?
I'm talking about like Maxey's like the one and stuff like that. Edge come from time to time can be, but Oubre not so much. Paul George is like he's a Paul George. I mean, he's a great player, but he's lost his he ain't as like the way he used to be. Now Embiid is the one, like I said, with the size and stuff like that. But Mitchell Robinson, same place and be good. So I ain't worried about that. You know what I'm saying? But it's just Maxey. Maxey is the one that, like, to me, is the one that, because Maxey could shoot the thing from far out 3-point range.
Yeah, but see, I don't even look at that. I look at the fact that the speed. You couldn't put Brunson on Maxey because the speed he can't match him whatsoever.
No, he can't match him
Foot speed. You edge come if Philly turns into, like we talked about, if we don't, because I can't really say Philly's they're a half court team when Embiid is in the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
They're not a half court team when he's not in the lineup. They're an up and down team. They're get out and run team when he's not in the lineup. So that's why I said foot speed wise, he couldn't be with Maxey. I don't know how aggressive. I mean, the only person they would probably match him with is Edgecombe, just to see how that works.
Mm-hmm.
Because you couldn't put him on George, you can't put him on what's the name, on Oubre.
No,
because of size.
Only going to be Edgecombe and Maxey. That's the only one he's going to have to guard. You know what I'm saying? That's the
correct. Exactly.
But like I said, the NBA is a lot different today than it was in yesteryears. Because like I said, them guys with the size, they don't take advantage of mismatch. And like I said, most of it is just setting picks and getting guys open for wide open shots. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? Moving around the screen and stuff like that. So it's the screen. If you can get past the screen, or move your feet. Like I said, if Maxey coming at you full speed from fast break is like, yo, you ain't got nothing you can do, you know what I'm saying? Because his change of direction is good. But then also on the other end, they can't stop Brunson either. That's the thing though.
No. Listen, that's where we would have to capitalize, of course. Listen, if we could get somebody in foul trouble off the grip, then all of that stuff. I mean, the only thing you have to worry about again is just Grimes. They bringing in reinforcements or putting Oubre to guard Brunson. That might be their matchup. Oubre, I think they would either put Oubre or Edgecombe on him to match up with them. They wouldn't put Maxey on Brunson. There's no way they would put either one of those Maxey on. Because he would, like you said, he would kill Maxey going downhill as well. But they're likely they will put a bigger guard on him or forward to match up with him, like they did with Dyson. You know what I mean? With Daniels.
Yeah, but like I said, they've been trying like Oubre and stuff like that. But like I said, with the Knicks is like I said, if they them guys are seeing, like I said, Bridges and Obi hitting, then it changes everything with them. Because like I said, the Knicks had success with the Sixers over the last couple of years and stuff like that. So they really don't cause a problem for us. You know what I'm saying? But the playoff,
but see, as we say that because we won against them and we saw the games and we mashed it up, but we didn't get a healthy Embiid when we played them the one time. The other time, I think Paul George wasn't there. So we never really – I don't think we got a full lineup with them.
Well, you're not going to get a full lineup with them. That's the thing. They're always going to be hurt. I mean, just like we be hurt, in the playoffs.
Right.
This one the first time because when we played MD that time, I mean, he got Mitchell Robinson out of it because Mitchell Robinson was dominating him. So he hurt Mitchell Robinson. And then he got suspended for that, which is kind of crazy because I would have stepped on his head. I would have kicked him in his face or something like that. But these dudes, like I said, Mitchell Robinson was on there. Was like, yo, I ain't even worried about it. Like I said, man, it's just the other guy. Like I said, if Bridges and Obi do their thing, I ain't worried about these other
Well,
cats.
listen, it's easy for us to look at for the game they just played. Yes, we can look at that, but you know, when a whole different regime or a whole different squad takes shape on the court, you know what I mean? These guys got to look at where they could get off on some of these guys as well, because I can't necessarily say OG is going to have the same success against Paul George or Oubre either, because they're more veteran guys. Now you're playing against veteran guys. Now you're not playing against like
but
Johnson and Walker and them, where you know your size can overwhelm those guys.
They play these guys. So they play these guys already all season. They ain't like they never seen them before. That's what I'm saying. Oubre's not no what you call it, bro. I mean that dude.
Listen, look. I don't want to be like the Debbie Downer and be like,
ain't no Debbie Downer. Like I said, I don't care about those guys. Like I said, if we be aggressive and we do what we got to do, you know what I'm saying, and the bench guys
for sure, and that's what I'm hoping they do. That's what you know what I mean. That's what I'm looking for, is for them to go in. And I'm talking about if you leave it up to me, I want them to go in and sweep them.
Yeah, of course, you know what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? If you ask me, listen, I want them to go in. If we do get Philly, which I was hoping for, because then, like you, I can be up in the house and go to and get some of these game times and stuff like that. But if they do get Boston, listen, they just got to do their diligence, either to be out there on the perimeter, guarding that up. You know what I mean? Because
them shooters, bro, them guys gonna
exactly. But again,
they're gonna make them shots. But if you got guys out there, then they ain't gonna make too many of them shots. But if you leave them wide open,
correct. But the thing is, for us, we can't fall in love with trying to match them shot for shot either.
No, yeah, right. It's not match on shot.
You dig what I'm saying? Because they shoot it at a higher clip. You know what I mean? So, and then offensive rebounds plays a factor. You know what I mean? All of that. You got to get those boards. You got to get those defensive boards and offensive boards. But I'm just saying, more defensive boards on them missed shots.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. See, the thing on that is like our other guys got to step up and try to help them get the rebounds, because you know the three, Towns, Robinson, and Hart, they definitely get them rebounds. And like I said, OG's stepping up now, getting rebounds, bro, because you know OG ain't making rebounds like that, and that's just a different dimension now. That with that, you know what I'm saying, OG's on this dude getting like double doubles now. Before he was getting like 4 rebounds. Now OG's like, yo, I'm like, oh damn, OG nigga snagging the rebounds, like, yo, keep it going.
But let's not like glorify the fact, because his pay should hit the way what he's getting paid in the league should have already been something he was doing to get that pay.
Right. But
you dig what I'm saying? Like, come on. Like, we're paying this dude good money to be talking about 2-4 rebounds the year before. Like, come on.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, yo, he's turning on at a very good time in the playoffs. That's what I needed in the playoffs. Let's get them rebounds, because hey, if you don't get the rebounds, they lead to second chance points and fouls. And then what happened? It always does, man. Right.
Right.
Chance points and fouls. Like, hey, if you can keep your man, you can save your guy in foul trouble and stuff like that. That's what you want to do. You know.
Right.
But yeah, man, like I said, last night here in Atlanta, man, like I said, man, after the game, of course, you know, you seen the thing, Knicks fans was going crazy in the stadium, outside the stadium and stuff like that, you know, and the Knicks fans was giving it to them, because it's like, hey, game 3, when the Hawks won that, man, Hawks fans was all over Knicks fans in that game at the end. You remember when Brunson, was that the one Brunson turned the ball over? Yeah, it was the one that Brunson turned the ball at the end.
Right.
For 12 seconds, man, they were going crazy. They was like ATL shout, and he's like, yo, it was so happy. It's like, but hey, they returned the favor, man. It's like, hey, what it was.
Well, let me ask you a question on that too. Do you think it was more a coaching fault that they put Brunson back in that situation, or do you think it was a Brunson fault that he put himself in that situation when it came down to, nevertheless, putting himself in that corner, nevertheless, the turnover of it?
No, that was Brunson, because even Mike Brown said they wanted Brunson to be on that side to get the ball in the right hand side. It's like, I don't think Brunson probably penetrated too far over, and then I think they didn't anticipate like the other defender just coming over and just staying. Like, it was a Kongu and somebody else, but it was like all 3 of them was just like, they was just there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, they only anticipate like 1 or 2 of them probably being there or something like that. But the play broke down, like I said, and Brunson, like I said, he got too far in there. And like I said, then he tried to pass to Josh Hart, but Hart, the pass was a kind of like, bad pass or something like that. And that was it. They didn't even get a shot off, because you should get a shot off with 12.5 seconds. That's lots of time. That's eternity for 12.5 seconds. Had he dribbled towards the baseline, stopped, and probably pulled up, you'd have had the shot, but he went down. And then once he got down by the basket, it was like, yo, you know what I'm saying, got swallowed up.
Well, listen, there's a twofold to that. Did they waste too much time? Yes, they did. I think what it is that, like we always say with Brunson, is like, when you see the double team, you have to make decisions before the double comes hard at you. And I don't think he made that decision in that instance fast enough to not put himself in that turnover situation. You know what I mean? Because that's what happened. It's like, therefore, that's why I say, even then, after that game, therefore after the whole change of the offense, you know what I mean? The change of the guard of it. You know what I mean? They now took the ball out of his hand. Now you don't see those double teams at the top of the key. You remember when he would cross half court, you would see the double teams rush at him. You don't see those no more, because they're getting the ball out of his hands. The ball is going into Towns' hands. They setting double screens down for all these back doors. So again, that's where we have to look at the coaching did a whole 360 flip in somewhat of their offense. You know what I mean? So that's also where I give Towns credit, because he accepted a whole nother role outside of scoring, which was, feeding his teammates the ball, which it has panned out for them in the last couple of games.
And they also said the Knicks made, like Mike Brown made a little adjustments to the offense or something like that, with Towns is catching the ball at somewhere now compared to like before or something like that. To me, I thought he's still catching almost in the same spot, but
no. He is the facilitator of starting that offense. That's why I'm saying he's catching that ball at the top of the key. You're not giving the teams time to double team Brunson, because Brunson's trying to set up a screen with Towns, which they're just rolling off Towns and doubling him up. And Towns, to me, the biggest thing with Towns is like I still see in some cases, he has to read his defender. If his defender is going hard to double his point guard, he has to roll to the basket. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes it's easy for me to say that, but Brunson is so short. They're sending 6'7", 6'8" guys at him, and it's probably hard for him to get that ball out of his hand to those other people. They would have to go hard to him to try to receive the ball.
Yeah, and looking at some NBA scores right now, 2:31 left to go in the second quarter. Magic's up 54-38 over Detroit.
Wow.
With 2:31 left to go right before the half. So it's still some time, but they down 16 already to the Magic. A win by the Magics tonight, and the Pistons will be eliminated.
Yo, what is your thoughts? Who are you looking for to pull out that one?
I always told you if Wagner was there, but he not even playing. They still winning. But if he was there, I definitely know the Magic's gonna win. You know what I'm saying? But
okay. Yo, listen,
they win tonight. They win there. You know what I'm saying? So,
and I give Orlando credit, because I didn't think you could put a Wagner on a Cade on Cunningham, and that would have the success that it had. But obviously, they found somebody else to guard him.
So, man, like I said, man, hey, Magic's do your thing, man. That could be. Hey, the Magic upset them, man. Magic would be. What is the Magic's the 8th seed, right? Because they was a play-in, right? Yeah, the Magic go to 8th seed. Yeah. That's the number 1 overall seed, and the Pistons won 60 games this season, 60-22 on.
They get eliminated in the first round, dude. That would be an epic fail.
And right now, also in the first quarter, 3 minutes left to go in the first quarter. It's still 28-24 Cavs over the Raptors right now, but early first quarter. So, hey, man, a win by the Raptors, they'll send that to a Game 7 in Cleveland, man. But if the Cavs win, the season is over for the Raptors. And then the last game on Prime, Lakers at the Houston Rockets. Lakers will have a 3-2 lead. Now it's, a 3-0 lead. Now it's 3-2. A win by the Rockets will send this into a game 7 against the Lakers and stuff like that. You know, I know AR-15 just got back, you know, for the Lakers. But Lakers had a commanding 3-0 lead in that series, man. All they had to do was just win one more and stuff like that within the next 2 games or whatever, and the series would be over, man. So I don't know, and I think Durant ain't played about 2 or 3 of them games, or he hasn't played.
No, I don't think this round he was going to be able to be back. I think that that calf injury or whatever that is right now, or that ankle is they said is a big bone bruise. He's not going to be able to run on that.
Mm-hmm. So like I said, hey, tonight, if the Magic take out the then the Magic will meet the winner of the Cavs and the Raptors series and stuff like that. And if they play the Cavs, it's like that's a good matchup for the Magics too against the Cavs. That's a good matchup for them and stuff like that. That's going to be a tough matchup for the Cavs and stuff like that, man. Because, like I said, the Magics, they're a team. They're a physical team, man. And like I said, Desmond Bane is playing better now. Like I said, he's been struggling a little bit, but if he gets it going and stuff like that, because he's like a little linebacker out there, you know what I'm saying? He's like Desmond Bane, a shooter. And stuff.
But do you think this is a bad series if Detroit goes down? Mm-hmm. Duran's coming up for a big contract. How does that look on him? Trying to get max deal, get max money when his performance hasn't been
there. But at the end of the day, I don't know if they'll give it to him, because I'm gonna say who else gonna come to Detroit? Some of the free agents don't be trying to go. They don't be trying to go there. But then again, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta look at it as like, if they don't give it, they're gonna give him the money. They ain't gonna give it to somebody else coming or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because the NBA, just like the NFL, like these other sports, is like this salary cap thing where all these guys got to meet a threshold. You know what I'm saying? They got to give the money to somebody. They can't just be like, hey, I ain't giving you no money this year. You know what I'm saying? So my salary gonna be like 130, while everybody else is like 195. They be like, nah, you can't be, because there was that revenue sharing.
Right. They always got to be up. Yeah.
Bro, it's just crazy, man. And like I said, you look at a lot of these series. Like I look at it like this: as a business. Like a lot of these series could be like some sweeps, but then the NBA don't make money on sweeps. They want like a 6-7 game series. So the more money, the more games you play, the more money the NBA's making. And also, hey, it pays the player's salary. You know what I'm saying? So they just like, hey, that's how we got to do it.
Yo, Ash, keep in mind, like you said, you was just in the building. Again, you for a 2.5 hour game, you know damn well you're gonna get thirsty. You know damn well you're gonna get hungry. So of course they want people to be there for 7 games. You know what I mean?
Trust me, the food is like, it was like about $50 or something like that, with a burger, fries, and beer and all that stuff. You know that stuff, man. It's crazy.
Bananas. That is bananas, dude. It's like, yo, you.
I remember this one dude there yesterday. He's like, yo, man. It's like, yo. He's like, man, this tall can is like $23. It's like, bro, you in an arena, bro.
For sure.
You in an arena. It's like, if you was in the store, yeah, they ain't gonna be that. But you in an arena is like, bro, that's what they're gonna charge, $20-something, man, for a tall can.
That's why most people go and tailgate before, right? So you get nice and right before you get in there, and then whatever you just buying one just to keep your sanity up, just in case your team ain't doing too well.
Yeah, but like I said, man, who you see tomorrow? You see Boston or Philadelphia. Who's going to win that series, man? In Boston, in Beantown, like I said, the Celtics and the 76ers and stuff like that. And hey, maybe Peyton Pritchard might have a field day. They might, you know what I'm saying? Peyton Pritchard.
Well, it's funny you mentioned his name, because I was like, yo, where was this guy last night? You know what I mean?
Right.
So you know what I mean? So it's one of those things where they could be like, yo, they need more out of Jaylen Brown, or but no, where was Peyton Pritchard the night before, or the game before? Right. Caught the bus down on them easy.
Right, it was going crazy, man.
Yeah. So what happened? Like you was like, yo, take a time off because they only gonna get that out of me one game out of this series, or whatever. I need to take a rest or something. Nah, dude.
See what
You got to
White.
come in and perform. And Derek White, where is he at?
That's what
11
I got
points.
for
That's
Derek
not
White been
cutting
doing.
it.
Let me see what Derek White been doing because I ain't been hearing his name.
Nah, he had like 11 points last night, dude. That's not cutting it.
That's not enough. That's not enough,
He
Derek.
had 11. Pritchard had 14, I think.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm looking at the what you call it, man. I'm like, bro, they need you to step up, Derek. They need you
Sure.
to step up. He
Yeah.
says, yo, let me see the box score. 17. Hauser had 5. Quita with 4.
Hauser is shooting. What was he like? 1 for 5 from? I think he was 1 for 5 for 3.
Yep. Off the bench, Peyton Pritchard with 14.
Shireman, where's Shireman at?
Yeah, Baylor Shireman with 5. Yeah. Jordan
Exactly. Well, I think he hit what 1 for 5 or 2 for 5 for 3 or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
but they're gonna have to step that thing up. Because guess what? Is win or go home tomorrow. Is no more games to be played in that series. So hey, you got to leave everything out there, man. You know what I'm saying? So
no, that's what I said when I was talking to you before. Like I was loving it, the matchup if they came down to it. Boston Nick again. So you get that big draw from it, and then my peoples I can rub in their face. Knicks going in and smack them in the mouth. Hopefully, if they do like they did against the Hawks, you know what I mean. So it makes it more the pleasure. But my
it's gonna
biggest thing is at this point, it's looking like Philly might pull that series out.
So Philly's on a roll. They don't won 2 in a row in that thing, and it's like, hey, they got Uncle momentum on their side, right? They got the momentum.
The momentum, I think they're building the formula to beat the squad. You know what I mean? If Embiid stays within 19 feet of the basket, like listen, why go against something that's working?
Yeah, yo, right now it's halftime score. Orlando now up 60-38. It's a 22-point lead
Yo,
at
now
halftime.
listen, should we be saying right now like the Knicks game, like yo, that's a wrap for
Yeah, I think it's a wrap. I think it's a wrap, man. Because you down 22 to the Magics, man. It's like, let me see, Tobias Harris with 10 points in the game. He's the highest scorer. Duncan Robinson with 3. Jalen Duran with 6.6 rebounds. Kay Cunningham with 8 points. Asor Thompson with 4 points. Tobias is the high man with 10. And off the bench,
Wow.
Dennis Jenkins with 5 and Paul Reed with 2. That's another guy who talks a lot of smack. Paul Reed. Isaiah
Yo,
Stewart.
listen, why did you even bring his name up? Paul Reed is just like, listen, fella, I'm glad you made a roster.
I'm glad you made the roster.
But though you should just get in the game and be happy that you're getting that playing time to showcase something or give some hustle points or whatever the case may be.
Isaiah Stewart is scoreless in that game. He's scoreless. Karis LeVert is scoreless. Javonte Green is scoreless. So they bench only got 7 points off the bench, 2 from Paul Reed and 5 from Dennis Jenkins. And that second quarter, Orlando outscored them 35-12.
Wow.
That's what happened because the first quarter was 26-25. Detroit was leading by.
Who's high for Orlando?
For Orlando, Paolo Banchero with 10 points, Wendell Carter with 7, and Desmond Bain is a high man with 15. Desmond
Bain is hitting the shots.
Jalen Suggs got 5, and they bench got 7 for Tristan, but Bataze got 6. Javonte Carter got 2. Anthony Black with 5. So they bench is like really helping them right now. 13. They bench got 20 points off the bench to 7 for the Pistons. So yeah, man, bro, I'm telling you, man, Orlando look like they're gonna do that thing, man. They're gonna do that thing, bro. I think they're gonna do it. Orlando gonna do it. Cleveland is up right now, but it's like I said, it started the second quarter. They up 32-28 and stuff like. I know it's tied.
Yeah, that's too close.
It's tied.
Barnes is playing in that game.
You talking about Scotty?
Yeah.
Did you? Yes, he is. Yep. So Cleveland got Harden
Because I know Ingram is out.
Oh, shit. Ingram. Yeah, Ingram is out.
Yeah, Ingram's out.
What happened to him? I mean,
He got hurt in the last game.
oh, snap. Yeah, so for them right now, for the Raptors, tied at 32. Barrett got 9. Barnes has 8. Jakob Pertl got nothing. But Quickly has not played the whole series. He's been injured. He's been out.
Yep.
That's a big miss for him. Like Quickly. Jacoby Walters with 5 points. Okay, but Jakob Pertl has not scored. Why? Okay, for Cleveland, Allen with 5, Mobley with 8, Harden with 4, Mitchell with 5, Max Strus with 6 points. Okay.
Wow.
First quarter, huh? Hey, Raptors gonna need it. Raptors down 3-2. Is like, yo, they're gonna have to need the fans tonight, man, to send us to a game 7, man. But you said if Ingram is gonna be back for the next game, is it day to day, or is it something he's gonna?
I don't know. The way that looked, I would think he was gonna at least be out this game, maybe be ready for the next game.
The knee or ankle?
I think it was his knee.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember which one it was, to be honest with you.
Yeah, man. So, like I said, man, we'll know by tomorrow who we're going to be playing and stuff like that. So, you guys will get your wish if it's going to be Boston or if it's going to be Philly. You know what I'm saying? Is it going to be chowder or cheesesteak? You know what I'm saying? Want some chowder? You're going to go to Boston. You're going to go to Beantown. The Knicks will, if they play Boston, the Knicks will have to go out to Boston to play Celtics.
The first couple of games, yeah.
And then if it's Philly, the Knicks will be home waiting on the Sixers. But with the Celtics, like I said, we won both games in Boston last year on the road, down 20 in both of those games. Like I said, don't go down 20 again. Please don't go down again 20. Don't have time.
I don't even want to think about it.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but this NBA, like I said, the NBA, it has been good. This NBA playoffs has been good. Like I said, there's been some surprises and stuff like that. OKC looked like they didn't have no problem with Phoenix, even though some little things happened in the first couple of games and stuff like that. But OKC was then they're the only ones that swept, right? Yeah, they're the only ones that swept. Yeah. So Knicks won.
Listen, I just think it's so funny. Like for some of you Brooklyn dudes, aka Leaf, I remember when Durant and Kyrie went to Brooklyn. It's like, oh, everybody was on that wagon like they had a championship team. Mm-hmm. But it's funny that I listened to one dude talk, and he was like, yo, if you look at any team, therefore, that Durant has gone to other than Golden State, mm-hmm. it's been the demise of the team. Because you got to think, he went to Brooklyn. Of course, he wasn't going to play his first year going in because he had that ACL. But coming in that next season, you would think that you put together a team that for the stake of it, that y'all had a run, y'all can make a run, and to me it just fell by the wayside because therefore after you get Harden in there. Injury. You're thinking, oh, you guys really going to make a run. Then he gets out of there, runs out of there. Then you get Ben Simmons on there. But Ben Simmons was supposed to help you.
I think Durant, their best chance, like I said, with Russell Westbrook and that OKC thing, man. I always thought they was going to win at least one out there, man.
Oh, yeah. That's what, to me, they had the best chance.
They had some young guns. There was some young guns. Him, Westbrook, what's the name? Serge Ibaka. Harden was there for a minute. That was the young guys when they played Miami. When they played the Miami Heat, man, I thought that was a good one. They was going to try to get that one. That was when Miami was just starting out with LeBron. Got there the first year, so I thought Durant was going to be able to do it. But hey, Westbrook was doing his thing, but he didn't have no co-stars and stuff like that. Being consistent because they would have got one. But they had a lot of successful years in OKC. Didn't win a championship, but they won a lot of games and stuff like that. And I thought they was going to stay together for probably forever, but they didn't. You know what I'm saying? But what they like 8-9 seasons together or something like that?
Who was the GM around that time?
It was I think it was always Presti, Sam Presti. He's the one that put that team together and stuff like that from Seattle. He moved from Seattle and also, but yeah, he's been there forever. Sam Presti. Hey,
because the only reason why I say that because like anything, when you have a team like that, why not? As we could say about like the Giants, why didn't the Giants pay Saquon? It's like it's the same situation. Why not pay those players to keep them?
Yeah,
because he could have paid Harden to stay.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, but like I said, they had Harden, Westbrook, Durant, Serge Ibaka. I think it was one more, but it was a four dudes. Like I said, they picked really good. Like I said, you pick good, and it's like sometimes you just can't keep all of them guys and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
but look what they're doing now. They paying Shea, they paying
But yeah,
Williams.
but the salary cap was different back then than it was now.
No,
So
true. Yeah, yeah,
that was the only thing, though. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
it is what it is. Like I said, I really wish they would have stayed because I really wanted to see them. They grew
That's what I'm saying. That's
grew
why I'm like, yo, you do what you need as you building a team. That like you said, he had the perfect formula, had the perfect guys in this formula.
but
How bad could your recipe be if you pay him to stay?
But the same thing about it is like all their contracts is coming up around the same time compared to like
Yeah,
3 years old or something like that. That's the only thing when they all come to like you pick good, like all these guys come together, it's like, oh man, they young, it's like they're gonna be good for a while. And that big contract is like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, man, good thing for OKC, man. Like I said, I'm glad. Hopefully Seattle gets their team back. You know, they're gonna try to get Seattle and Vegas to get a team and stuff like that for the expansion and stuff like that. It'll be great to go back to a game in Seattle, man. Like I said, one of the great franchises that should have never ever went away and stuff like that. You know, a lot of great memories with the Supersonics, Sonics, whatever you want to call them, or something like that, man.
right.
Keenan Reno was something you said, great players from the past and stuff like that, man. And I know, like I said, they deserve their team back, man. Because like I said, it wasn't the fans. It wasn't the fans was going to the game. But the only thing was happening was like they wanted a new arena, and like the owner, like the dude who bought the team, you know, he wanted a new arena, and he know they wasn't going to try to give it to them. That's why he moved the team to OKC. That was his whole intent to move it to OKC anyway. So, you know, that was his excuse as far as that part, you know what I'm saying? Because I thought he was going to stay in Seattle, but it is what it is, man, and stuff like
No,
that.
you heard of the new talks that they're doing? They're trying to do a new MSG too, but Dolan's holding it up.
Oh, yeah, I heard something like that. Oh, look like Toronto's up 5 now, 37-32.
Mm.
Everybody trying to do their little thing, man. But yeah, man, everybody try to do their thing. Like I said, Toronto is trying to force a game 7, man. Like I said, I give them a lot of credit, man. 'Cause, you know what I'm saying? They playing. It ain't like they getting blown out by it. They got blown out with that first game, but then after that, every game has been like, and they didn't even get blown out too bad in that first game anyway, but every
No.
game kind of close. You know what I'm saying? So they right there, man. If they force a game 7 in Cleveland, bro, that's gonna be a lot of pressure on the Cavs, right? Every time you force a game 7, because hey, even though you're at home, it could still go either way. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna go, it might not go your way because things happen, foul trouble, injuries, cold shooting, all them stuff pops up at some point, like at the most inopportune time. But the one thing I like about the NBA is a series. It's not a one game sudden death. So it's like you play a series. When you play a series, you get to see who is really the better team. If everybody is healthy, you get to see who really a better team. But if you got injuries and stuff, of course you don't say it'll go a certain way. But when they play in a series and everybody stays healthy and they playing, you can see who's the better team. You know what I'm saying? So you got 7 games to decide compared to like just one game. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't got no excuses if you lose. You know what I'm saying? You can't be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? But hey, it is what it is, man.
So
You know?
you get to see how good your coach is as well.
Of course. Yeah, you know, I get to see the adjustments, the substitutions,
Correct.
how he do things, and the thing about the series is like, hey, you see if one guy's getting hot and something like that, it's like, hey, let's make an adjustment. Can he make an adjustment? Like, can they change up? That's a good thing compared to like if you just playing like a one game, you know, like college basketball, like one game for a championship, like it's only gonna be a second half adjustments or something like that. But that's about it compared to like a full series where it's like you make adjustments throughout and keep changing up and things like that. But in one game, hey, you got to do that stuff on the fly, man. You got to get them guys ready and stuff like that, man, to see what's going to work or something like that. Because, hey, you only got one chance at it. Whereas in the playoff, it's like, hey, we lost this one. Okay, we'll come back the next game. Okay, we'll do this other one and stuff like that. And things would change and stuff like that. Or you see like an advantage now. You be like, okay, they can't stop it. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. We're going to roll with it, or mismatches, you know what I'm saying, or a mismatch or something like that, and it just takes like some guys off the bench to give a spark, because there's some guys that's out of rotation, but they get back in the playoff because some guys are producing, other guys are not producing, or they struggling. And when you start struggling in the playoff, man, it's almost like, bro, you already know what that is, man. That stuff creeping up in your mind, playing in your head and stuff like that, man. It's like, hey, man, just knock that thing out and just perform, man. I always say, like, yeah, if you ain't got no pressure on you, man, just go out there and play loose. You know what I'm saying? Let the big money guys, let them get the pressure. You know what I'm saying? You just like, hey, I'm just here to support you guys, help you guys, and do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? And and you want to help your team, because the more you score too, that gives everybody else more confidence and stuff like that, man. So But like I said, man, Hawks had a great season, man, after the trade and stuff like that with Trae Young and stuff like that. So I'll see what they do in the offseason because I think CJ McCollum is a free agent.
That's the sad part about it too.
Kuminga, his contract is up, so they're gonna have to decide what they want to do with Kuminga and CJ. But me personally, I think I'll bring CJ back. You know what I'm saying? I'll bring CJ.
Yeah,
back.
but that's you say that, but then what do you do with Kuminga?
You bring him back too, because really the Hawks, you look at their salary, you know what I'm saying? They got rid of Trae Young's salary and stuff like that, so they got cap space and stuff like that. But then again, I don't know who they're gonna get in free agency or you know what I'm saying, or what they do in the draft, because I think
but so that's like saying then that means because you know Kuminga's gonna want to dial down. He's gonna want to get it at least 30. He's gonna want to max it out as much as he can.
Right, like I said, you and I know, be like this, be like, is he worth that stuff though? You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing. That's how teams look at it. They like, hey, they be like, and they probably won't give him that, so they probably try to give him like a fraction of it. You know what I'm saying? Like 3/4 of it or something like that, if they can. Depend on what they do.
But do you think he's worth that?
What 30?
Yeah.
Nah, unless he's gonna be a starter. See, he's coming off the bench for him. It's like he become a starter and he started doing like
should he have been starting over Dyson Daniels? Of course he should have.
You're right, but what I'm saying is that's what I'm saying. Well, he has to get in there and get that starting role though. If you want to get that type of money, you can't be making 40 man coming off the bench.
Yeah, well, you say that like he had that's a big decision they have to make. I don't think that's a big decision.
I know, but what I'm saying is if they make that decision, then they're gonna tell them like, hey, next year is like, yo, if you're gonna pay, it's like you're gonna be a starter and blah blah blah. And then another thing with Atlanta that I didn't understand, I was trying to ask some Hawks fans like, why is what's name coming off the bench? The lottery pick that they pick are researcher.
No, I was thinking that too.
The starter now he's a bench player. I was like, yo, what is going on? I was like,
he was a top pick. He was they number one pick.
And that was another thing they were saying in the stadium. They was like, now everybody having revisionist history now. They say they should pick Stephon Castle. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
what?
Castle, but y'all pick. But you have to remember when Researcher got picked and Alex Sarr got picked. That was the French. Remember all them French guys?
Yep. We was there.
Yeah, all in right in the bulk is all them French guys was getting picked. It's like, yo, Now
because I picked that up in the later when I saw Dowdier come in the game and I saw them both like against each other. I'm like, these dudes was in the same draft class.
Yeah. You
dig what I'm saying? So like you just said, all those Frenchmen that came out.
Yeah, but I think that draft had like about 8 or 9 Frenchmen go in the first 2 rounds. Like, yo, going on. Sarr went first, and Researcher went second.
Correct, and then everybody was like, "Who's that?" And then he was starting with Trae, and then all of a sudden he fell out of the rotation. All of a sudden.
But it goes to show you again, like I said, drafting right, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you draft right, good things happen. But if you draft wrong, it can set you back a little bit.
But see, that's a cliche. Sometimes it's based on individuals too, and some individuals fall out of character with some of the coaches they bring in, or some of the rotations. It could be who's your point guard now. It could be a lot of things like you rely on.
Yeah, but the thing about it, I think Quinn Snyder was the one who brought Reese. I mean, that's the same staff. It's not like it's a different staff that when he was drafted. That's what I'm saying. So they want to pick them. So it depends if he came from if it was another regime and he'd be like, okay, so you don't have no allegiance to this new coach. But they the ones that picked him. So it's like, hey, if you pick that guy to have, it's like, hey, you got to work that guy, you got to develop that guy, and things like that. It's like, yo, so what happened within? Damn, what's that? Is it 3 years? 2 years? 3. This is a second year. Yeah, it's like, yo, what happened? Because like I said, I had forgot about it. I was like, yo, and I was like, yo, why is this dude coming off the bench and he's getting like just spot minutes? I'm like, man, he must have fell far out. What happened?
Well, I looked at it like he could have been a better impact to me offensively than Dyson, than Daniels. But the fact is, I don't know if his defense would have been there for what they were trying to use Dyson Daniels for.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? Because I know he can shoot the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You dig what I'm saying? Then you put in a player that, on the other hand, he couldn't really, you know what I mean? You can leave him open all night. You know what I mean? He did hit some shots, but, not probably at the clip that dude could hit it.
Right.
So that was a big call for them to make in that situation.
I might ask my boy who's a Hawks fan. I'm asking like, yo, what's up with Zachary Reach this year? Is like, yo, he'll tell me and stuff like that. It's like, hey, buddy, you better get that act together, man, because he's still a young cat. He's a young cat, so.
But he's still got potential. He's still on those rookie deals, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he's like, like I said though, after a while, dudes get rid of you. And like I said, but now you look at the other thing though. Now look at the Wizards. They traded Denny Avia. Now look at Avia. Now he's balling over there in Portland.
Yes.
But when he was in Washington, you know what I'm saying, at the time, he wasn't really doing.
He was the same player. I just think that again,
right.
The lineups, the people, how they play you, you know what I mean? All that plays a factor.
Right. And like I said, I know Washington now is like, man, we kept this guy, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but hey, it happens, man. You know what I'm saying? They get somebody else, they're going to get somebody else. It's going to be the same thing, man.
And what is Danny? Danny's what, 6'6", 6'7"?
Danny Avia, yeah, he's around that 6'7". Okay, looking at some updated scores right now. Okay, early third quarter, still Orlando 62-40. 7:24 left to go in the second quarter. Toronto 45, Cleveland 38 with 7:24 in the second quarter. Still got some time before half though. So, hey man, Toronto's trying to force a game 6 in game 7 in Cleveland, man. It's like, hey, everybody trying to go 7, man, to even Houston tonight. Houston pulls it out tonight, man. They're gonna force a game 7 in LA because it's 3-2 right now, so. It's
funny. You telling me the scores. I could turn on the game, but it's like I'm watching the Yankee game, but it's like I'm like, I'd rather just when it all comes down to whoever wins, that's when I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, they won. You know what I mean? I didn't want it to be. I don't want it to be like, oh, watching the game like, oh, they got a chance. Like I just want to know the score at that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. But yeah, you got any final last words, man, for tonight, man? Like I said, with the Knicks and stuff like that, man. I know the Beatdown in Atlanta and stuff like that. The radio station here, they was talking about it all day, man. These guys was like, man, get these bums out of here, man. It's like, they embarrassed the city. How can you do that on national TV, man? It's like, it's one thing you lose, but to lose like that, man. But listen, I felt bad. Like I said, man, it was a game. It was a closeout game, man. Like I said, on a closeout game, your season's on the line. You have got to bring it, man. You have to, like I said, scratching and surviving. Like I said, man, you have to throw everything out there in the kitchen sink. You got to throw everything out there to extend your season, man. It'd be one thing if you lose a game by like 5 points or like 10 points or something like that. But man, you lost the game basically in the first quarter. And by the second quarter, it was it was an avalanche by the second quarter. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, hey, a lot of celebrities is in the house to root the Hawks on and stuff like that, man. But it wasn't to be and stuff like that, man. But hey, it is what it is, man.
Well, I'm gonna tell you from my standpoint, being a diehard Knicks fan, I'm glad we was the ones on the other end of it.
Yeah.
So I'd rather take that than anything. But when a team clamps down like the Knicks did in that game, surprisingly, they just was clicking on all cylinders. And I think all in all, hopefully, like I was listening to Cat his post game, it's like, man, if we could stay consistent on what that was, and what we've been doing, sky's the limit. And that's the thing that you want out of this team, is just to let your potential, be, or take your potential to your fullest and stay consistent with it as much as you can. Because like you said, you can't always hit all the shots. There's going to be things that is going to be a letdown. It's just how you capitalize on the things that you can to make a win be a win.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, listen, cardiac Knicks, like I said, they gave Knicks fans a cardiac arrest, how they explosively blew up that score in the first half of that game to definitely null and void any thoughts of a 7-game whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
So I could tell you in that first half of that game, like, it was like, this is locked down. You know what I mean? So it was a good feeling to watch that game through and through.
Dudes is coming to us like, they had a yellow caution tape around the court. And dudes, what happened? What happened? It's like, did somebody? What happens? Like, yeah, them home players.
Yo,
He's
yo, murder was the case that they gave him.
murder was the case, man. But like I said, man, a series that the Knicks, like I said, before the start of that series, man, Knicks, like I said, I had the Knicks like either a gentleman's sweep or something like, or 5 games or something like that. But
Right.
it should have been. But like I said, the Knicks lost 2 games, like I said, by a total of 2 freaking points, man. 1 point each game, man. I couldn't even believe it, man. They lost game 2 and game 3. Had they won both of those games, it would have been a sweep and stuff like that,
Sure.
man. But it wasn't to be. Like I said, tip your hat off to the Hawks. They played real good in those 2 games in New York and back in Atlanta and stuff like that, man, to make it actually they had the lead 2-1 in the series and stuff like that. And then the Knicks won the last 3 games of this, to end the series instead of forcing a game 7 and stuff like that, man. So all in all, it was great, man. But like I said, tomorrow we will find out who will be the Knicks' next opponent. And I'm pretty sure that series is going to start Tuesday or Wednesday, because they playing tomorrow Saturday and they got traveled and stuff. So it's probably going Tuesday or Wednesday is going to start that series and stuff like that. So we'll see if we're going to be either at home against Philadelphia or travel on the road to Boston and stuff like that. But with the momentum looking like we might be, Philadelphia might be coming to New York and stuff, might get on that train, right? To get on SEPTA and get on that train and come on up, man. You know what I'm saying? But hey, strange things happen, man. Sometimes it's hard to beat a team like 3 times in a row. You know what I'm saying? So Boston might get off the mat. You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow.
Well, listen, I'm not going to count them out.
No, I ain't.
You know what I mean? But the way things is going, I think that if Philly, like I said, sometimes when you on a roll like that, it's hard to stop that train from rolling over you. Especially now, they talk about Tatum's right leg is starting to give him problems, and especially in the back half area. And most of the time, when you have one Achilles injury on your other foot, you compensate the other leg, and that might be the start of that problem for his other leg.
Mm-hmm.
You dig what I'm saying? So, how many minutes should he go? How much should he push it? Yo, that believe me, that's going to play on his mindset. That's why I kind of got Philly pulling that out because, yo, do you really want to take another Achilles injury from your top star?
Yeah.
I don't think they can afford that right now.
Right. All right, man. But hey, like I said, it's gonna be some good games on right now, man. Like we'll see if Orlando is going to end Detroit's season tonight, and we'll see if Cleveland can push a game 7 as well. Toronto can push a game 7 to Cleveland, as well as the Rockets at home try to see if they can force a game 7 against the Lakers and stuff like that, man. But the other series have been man. So and last night the Joker got knocked out by the Timberwolves. And the Timberwolves had no Anthony Edwards, no Dante DiVincenzo, and somebody else, like I forgot who it was, but it's like, man, what's going on with the Joker?
What was that? Asumo was out.
And Ayo Dosunmu was out for the Timberwolves as well. It's like, man, see, this was like it's like I thought that was a golden opportunity for the Nuggets to win that game and force a game 7 in Denver and stuff like that, man. But that was an eye opener, man. It's like they lost in 6. You know what I'm saying? So, wow. So the Nuggets are out, as well as the Phoenix Suns are knocked out, So right now, who else is out? Because I think it's only the West is just the Rockets and the Lakers. Who else is out there? Let me see what tomorrow's game is.
Well, tomorrow should be definitely the Sixers. That's going to be the big game.
Only one game, yeah. So obviously that's the game 7 and stuff like that. Let me see what the West is looking like, man. Because the West, yeah, that's the only series. Because Monday, the Spurs and the Timberwolves.
Because the Spurs already did away with Portland.
Mm-hmm.
So Portland's done. Phoenix is done. Those series is it's only been in the East where the extensions of the series is going on.
Hold up. Nah, they got the. Well,
the West is the Lakers in Houston. It's extended.
Oh, they got they got if the Sixers win they got Monday the East semifinals game 1 is on Monday. Oh snap, so that might be the Knicks and whoever.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a quick turnaround from the the Saturday night game because that's what I thought you knew that. That's a quick turnaround. Monday would start the series, the semis, correct?
Well, I guess so I guess the winner of the Knicks and the Sixers and Celtics tomorrow. But if Cleveland wins tonight, then Cleveland has to wait on Orlando because wait a minute, because if Cleveland wins tonight and Orlando wins tonight, then their series could start Monday too.
Correct.
Yeah, they'll probably be the one Monday and stuff like that. Yo, this is gonna be so that means the West is already there's only one, they only waiting on one team out west. Because the Timberwolves and the Spurs
Lakers, the Lakers in Houston.
Yeah, Lakers in Houston, and that's who OKC is waiting on. That's who OKC is waiting on, that winner of that series and stuff. So OKC has been getting a long rest. But if the Rockets win tonight, they're gonna get an even longer rest. But if the Lakers win, then their series will start. What's today? Friday. Their series should start Sunday or Monday, like Sunday. But man, that'll do it for us here, man. Thank you guys for tapping this live stream, man. Knicks talk, man. Knicks massacre in Atlanta and stuff like that. Like I said, man, it was wonderful. It was beautiful last night, man. I had a great night last night. Fun. And my voice was a little hoarse, from celebrating and yelling and stuff like that in the arena and stuff like that for the Knicks and stuff like that, man. But like I said, we will know who the Knicks will play tomorrow night with the Sixers and the Celtics and see who the Knicks are going to play. So, hey, man, and like I said, it's a quick turnaround. So the winner of that game, the Knicks probably going to play on Monday or either Monday or Tuesday, and most likely Monday night and stuff like that.
No, they played Monday night. Whoever wins the game tomorrow will be playing Monday. It's a quick turnaround for them.
No. What I'm saying is, if Cleveland wins tonight and Orlando wins tonight, then their series will start. Their series will start first because they both won. You know what I'm saying? Because they said Friday, so they'll be Monday night. The Knicks will probably be like the Tuesday or something like that.
You think that's how they work? They're going to push the Knicks game to Tuesday?
No, they only play one game on one Eastern game. But like I said, because if Cleveland wins tonight and Orlando wins tonight, they both going to meet each other. So their series will start. You know what I'm saying? Because the Knicks waiting on Boston. Boston is tomorrow night. But these other teams' series can end tonight if they both win. You see what I'm saying? If Cleveland wins tonight and Orlando wins, their series can start because they're done for the night. So they'll probably start Monday, and then the Knicks will be Tuesday or something like that.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see, man. But I want to thank everybody, man, for tapping this live stream. If this is your first time to the Man-Cave podcast, as well as the Aboriginal Sports Network, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button on your way out the door, man. It costs you nothing. It is totally free. And if you are following on Twitter X, formerly Twitter, all you have to do is hit that like and subscribe, hit that follow button, man, for the Man-Cave podcast, S-God Media, as well as the Aboriginal Sports Network. And like I said, we will be back here in the next game. Like I said, whoever is going to be Boston or Philadelphia for game one, we will be right here, man. Until next time, man. See you guys.
Peace. Orange and blue skies.
All right, peace.
Who's got the rocket launcher? I say we blow it up. Now fire that thing.
It's for the city of sports, playing with a giant Nick. With my man S. God.
That's him.
You feel the vibe?
That's me.
We going live.
That's us.
That like button shared, you been subscribed.
Stadium.
That MetLife Big Blue, home of the Braves.
Yeah.
That turnpike, you can see that's where the game's played. NFL one day, then it's the NBA. Madison Square Garden, that's where the Knicks play. This that NY Logan, North don't get broken. Legalized, mean this shit smoking. I'm on topic, dropping another episode. The game winner, trade, maybe a field goal. Everybody right now doing the wave. You tune in, the show called The-Man-Cave. I see the chat, they always doing their thing. Big views, 85-inch screen. The game's on, you rush and bleed. Stay calm, you on the road and chill. Do the watch along, the show's on. The host, you know it's S-God. It's no telling, the panel filled with guest stars. You now rocking with the voice, you know what it is. It's your boy J Boogie. You now rocking with my man S-God. I support him to the fullest, you heard? My man Mike Blaze. This is Alter Production. What that mean, we about to alter everything that's playing. Tune in, my man S.God. Support the show. Subscribe, share it. Most importantly, hit that like button.